The person that we're going to talk about in this story is this individual that y'all saw on my screen. Let me back it up a few pictures so that way we can put a little bit of a focus on this person, okay? Now, his name is Jacobe Payton, Jacobe, Payton, Payton. At the time was 19 years old, so he should be about 20 to 21 years old at this point. Again, the story comes out of Houston, Texas. He was found guilty of the murder of the 8-year-old smiling, beautiful baby girl that y'all see on the right-hand side of the screen right there. And he murdered her in 2017, not on, but in 2017. And just recently, like less than a few days ago, he was sentenced to 78 years in prison. Now, I know a lot of people saw the title and they looked at that and they was like, wow, 78 years, but you have to hear the story and find out what happened to this baby, okay? And I love her smile, by the way. What a happy baby, and this is just an absolute tragic event, right? He was sentenced to 78 years in prison on Wednesday, according to Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office. He was found guilty of the crime after a jury deliberated for 8 hours on Tuesday, okay? In February 2017, the 8-year-old girl that you see on my screen right there, I found a good number of pictures, so shout out to the family and friends who posted pictures of that little baby right there. Looked like she was an intelligent, awesome little kid. 8-year-old Damari Adkins, D-E apostrophe M-A-R-E-E, Damari Adkins. This baby was asleep in the backseat of her mother's car when she was shot and killed after a car wreck near the intersection of Fuqua Street and Beltway 8 in Houston, Texas. Damari's mother, let me show you her face. Let me back it up just a moment. This is the biological mother of that baby, and her name is Latoya Thomas, 39 years old. And she told police at the time that a white Pontiac Grand Prix and a dark four-door sedan, I'm going to say that again. She said at the time that a white Pontiac Grand Prix and a dark four-door sedan were speeding down West Fuqua Street. The speeding Pontiac collided into a Honda Accord that was carrying the child Damari and the mother Latoya, who were traveling through the intersection of the Sam Houston Parkway, Feeder, and Fuqua Street. Again, if you guys are familiar with Houston, it is very challenging to drive in Houston, to say the least. If you've ever been there, shot after an accident, yes, Dre, yes. Just insane. But here's the story. Here's the quick portion of the story. Investigators say that the mother, Latoya Thomas, told them the driver from the Pontiac she had crashed into hopped into the four-door sedan and a window of the sedan rolled down and the woman began shooting at the car, hitting it at least 4 times. So they were speeding. Basically, Latoya had the green light. The mother was driving because she had the green light, and somebody was speeding and sped through and hit her. They got out the car, got into another car, and shot up her car with her baby inside. Keep in mind, they say that a woman shot. Now, the real story is that when the window rolled down, she mistaked this dude by the name of Jacobe Payton as a woman. Let me show you his picture again. If I can get to it. Give me a second here. Initially, she thought that might have been a girl because of all the hair. That's an easy mistake that could be made, especially the fact that a lot of these black men act feminine and they look a little feminine in the face. Then a lot of our black women look masculine. So I don't know. I guess I could see how you could get confused, right? You know, I mean, no disrespect to anybody out there that might be sensitive and don't have thick skin. I get it. But I'm just saying, the truth of the matter is, as it was this individual who was the one who did this. Again, his name is Jacobe Payton, who at the time was 19 years old and was arrested and charged with murder in connection with 8-year-old Damari's death. So what happened was he shot 4 times and 2 bullets went through the back passenger side of the car, which ended up killing the baby. Notice the face tattoos. Notice he cut them dreads off his head and all of this stuff, right? After Payton did not show emotion, which you guys can see that from the screenshots there, and I'll show you guys some live photo from when he was in court, okay? He didn't show any emotion as the verdict was read by a judge, as each single juror affirmed it. There was an audible yes heard from the courtroom where Damari's family sat in attendance. After Jacobe Payton was led out of the courtroom, Damari's family tearfully celebrated the verdict. Because I'm just saying, all you can do is just be happy that your baby got justice, because you cannot get your baby back. And again, that's the biological mom. She did nothing wrong. She had the green light. She drove once the green light hit, and somebody else was speeding through and hit her and shot at her. I have no idea how that makes any sense to anybody for that to even be a logical thing to do. It's just a weird thing to do. There was a weight lifted, and knowing that I can't bring her back from this verdict, but it's the fact that some justice will be served. Somebody had to pay for what they've done, said Detram Adkins, who is Damari's father. So shout out to the biological father for being there and being able to speak out on this. Because normally, hashtag we're the biological fathers, we don't normally hear from them. But in this case, Detram Adkins was there. He chose not to give an impact victim statement. During the trial, prosecutors highlighted the pain and anguish Thomas said was caused after her daughter was killed. Payton's defense attorneys reminded jurors that Thomas had said initially that the shooter was a woman on multiple occasions. Thomas told jurors that she thought Payton was a woman because he had long dreadlocks at the time of the shooting. So as you guys can see, he cut his hair, and I can almost guarantee you that that probably was trying to play into the minds of the jurors that maybe they had the wrong person, okay? But nonetheless, I believe that they got the right person based on the information that they presented. Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage and show you guys the news videos, okay? Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys do not mind, if you would, please make sure you guys click that thumbs up. We're still a little bit short on the thumbs up. We're at 98 thumbs up right now. Please click that thumbs up, and that'll help me out, okay? Thank you, guys. Here we go. Let's listen.
Eric, it has been almost 3 years since Damari Adkins was shot and killed. And while her family says they can't get her back, they say they can get justice.
No doing her hair, no waking her up for school, no college graduation, no marriage, no kids. I don't get any of that.
It's been a tough 3 years for Latoya Jarman Thomas, living life without her daughter, Damari.
He took my baby away from me.
In February of 2017, Damari's mother, Latoya, was driving home when a man ran a red light, causing Latoya to hit his car. Soon after, Jacobe Payton arrived in another car and started shooting at Latoya's car. Damari Adkins was in the back seat and was killed. Since then, her mother has been praying for justice. Finally, after 3 years, the trial began. Then, the deliberations.
I was nervous, beyond nervous. Stomach was doing flips.
After 8 hours, the jury reached a verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Jacobe Dante Payton, guilty of murder.
Latoya, visibly relieved as the verdict was read, 3 years after losing her daughter.
I'm elated. I've been waiting for this for 3 years.
Now the next phase, the jury will determine his sentence, which could be anywhere from 5 years to life in prison. As for the guilty verdict, Latoya knows her sweet daughter is smiling from above.
She's probably, yes, my mommy finally got justice for me.
Marla Carter, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Oh, well, matter of fact, let me back that up for a second. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll back it up just for a hot second so you guys can see who the biological father is. Detram.
Yes.
Is PayPal working? Yes, it is. Let me pull that up real quick. Anytime you guys donate, what I will do is I will take a moment and I will go ahead and read those off. So give me here. I say give me here. Give me just a moment. So yeah, if you guys send anything by way of donations, I'll go ahead and take a look at that and shout you guys out because I truly, truly appreciate it. Let me shout out to Knight Rider. Are you in the building? Let me give a shout out to Knight Rider. Uh-oh, if I can get this thing to unlock for me. Give me a second. Give me a second. Did you leave a message in there? All right, here we go. Night Rider sent in a donation. Let me give a shout out to Night Rider. So thank you very much. And sent in a very nice PayPal donation. So again, thank you, Night Rider, so much. Truly, truly appreciate that. Let me see. No, this woman was not dating the guy that shot up the car. This was merely just a road rage incident, okay? So that's why at the end of the title, I put road rage, because these people didn't know each other at all. This woman, from what I understand, is actually with her child's dad, which his name is Jacobe Adkins, which he's actually, let me see if I can show you him. See if I can show him in here.
LaToya knows her sweet daughter.
Guilty of murder.
Let me back it up a little bit there. If I can get it to play, hold on.
Then her mom.
Guilty of
3 years.
It's for 3 years.
Now the next phase. The jury will determine his sentence, which could be anywhere from 5 years to life in prison. As for the guilty verdict, LaToya knows her sweet daughter is smiling from above.
She's probably, yes, my mommy finally got justice for me.
Marla Carter, ABC.
Okay, right there on the right-hand side, the man that she's hugging, that's the biological father of that baby. Okay? So just to let you guys know, this is not a situation where the mom was dating this guy. She's with him, the child's father. Okay, so shout out to them. I'm glad that they were together. I'm glad this is a story where we can at least report the fact that, you know, we have a biological mother and biological father together. All right, here we go. Let me give a shout out real quick to Soldier Girl, who said hashtag AFC with the thumbs up. So thank you very much, sending a $10 super chat. So shout out to Soldier Girl. Thank you.
C13 Eyewitness News.
I love you, and I wish I could hug you, kiss you, comb your hair. She loved to go shopping too. She called herself a fashionista. Wish I could polish her nails, her toenails, anything. It's my.
And I'm going to tell you guys something. In order to be a parent and be in that courtroom, you have to be a strong person. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I would have been able to keep my composure. So, yes, I agree with you for saying that in the chat. Thank you for saying that.
The record reflects that the state's counsel was present and seated along with the defense counsel and the defendant. And at this time, the foreperson, have you reached a verdict in this case?
Your Honor, we have.
Is this verdict unanimous?
Yes, ma'am.
And is agreed upon by all members of the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Defendant, please rise.
All right, in cause number 17 DCR 077001A, on the verdict form, please, State of Texas versus Jacobe Dante Payton. We, the jury, find the defendant Jacobe Dante Payton guilty of murder as charged as deemed in the indictment.
All right, so this is him in court right here.
Yeah, probably fell out of that one. Kind of walking around with it.
Just emotionless. This is the guy again. His name is Jacobe Payton. He's about 20 to 21 years old around this time. So what we're looking at here is some of the footage from the court proceeding.
Would you tell the judge just...
So he was 19 at Woodward High School. What grade was he in?
He was a senior.
Senior. He was flunk?
Yeah. Objection.
So he was in high school at the time.
Yeah, he flunked.
That's the thing.
Some kids are slower than others.
Yeah.
Man has been convicted of shooting and killing an 8-year-old girl.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but somebody was saying, yeah, he flunked. Some kids are smarter than others. Like, I couldn't tell who that was that said that. I don't know if y'all can even hear that. I'm going to try to play it again.
He was a senior.
Senior, he was flunk?
Yeah.
Objection,
Yeah, he flunked.
That's his thing.
Some kids are slower than others.
Yeah.
Y'all heard that? I don't know if you can hear that or not. Stolen car? Good question. They did not specify based on what I saw so far. I'm not sure. Good question, though. Actually, that's a great question. Because I would have to wonder why they were in this high-speed chase or run or whatever it is that they were doing while they were speeding through stoplights. I would love to know that.
Man has been convicted of shooting and killing an 8-year-old girl, and the verdict comes nearly 3 years after the death of Damari Adkins.
Channel 2's Andy Sirota is live now in Richmond tonight, where the sentencing phase is underway. And Andy, I know you talked with the girl's father, who took the stand in this.
Lauren, Keith, good evening. That's right. Deetram Adkins, Damari Adkins' father, was the first witness called to testify in the punishment phase of this trial. He told the...
So the father, the biological father, testified. How about that? Isn't that something? Yeah, it said some kids are slower than others. So, okay, so y'all heard that. Wow, okay. Y'all got some good hearing or got your headphones in. Y'all got good. They might have been street racing. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Jury that even now, nearly 3 years after his daughter's murder, his wife at times is such an emotional wreck. It's as though she's worse off now than when their daughter was killed.
Wow. Let me give a shout out real quick here. I got another donation in. If Knight Rider is in the building, said thank you for being brave, presenting such heartbreaking stories. The children, affected parents, and families are lucky to have you. So Knight Rider, thank you for your message. I got that by way of PayPal, by the way, which is in the description box. So shout out and thank you, Knight Rider, because I'll tell you this. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but over the course of the past few years of me trying to do these stories, I actually have had situations where people have tried to threaten my life, threaten to pull up on me and this and that, just for me reporting these stories, trying to advocate for these babies. So it's been a very, very trying thing to deal with, but I believe what we're doing is right, and I believe what we're doing is actually making a difference. So thank you for finding it in your heart and in your budget to be able to support our message the way that you have. So thank you, Knight Rider.
All rise.
Jacobe Payton showed no emotion as the jury rendered its verdict in the death of 8-year-old Damari Adkins nearly 3 years ago, guilty of murder. Outside the courtroom after that verdict was read, emotions ran high. LaToya Thomas, Damari's mother, held tight by loved ones. Deetram Adkins, Damari's father, says a weight has been lifted with today's verdict, though it can never bring his daughter back.
Nobody wins at this. Nobody wanted this. I just wanted justice for my baby.
Payton, who was 19 at the time, shot and killed 8-year-old Damari Adkins after a crash on West Fuquay and the Beltway in 2017 while she slept in the back seat of her mother's car. During the trial, his attorneys tried to raise doubt that Payton wasn't the shooter, pointing to evidence collected at the scene, including bullet fragments and shell casings, while also questioning the credibility of some of the witnesses. Damari's dad says today's verdict will allow his family to take a step forward from all of their grief and pain.
Somebody had to pay for what they done.
And the family will hold a balloon release in Damari's honor on February 25th. That's 3 years to the day of her murder. Payton faces 5 years to life behind bars. Testimony in this case picks back up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
So as you can tell from the title, he got 78 years. But he could have potentially have gotten 5 years. That's crazy for the death of a child. And that's part of what I'm talking about as far as us asking for justice for these babies. Like that 5 years would have been I don't know. That just would not have been right. Let me give a shout out real quick here. We got a donation. I think this is Venmo, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I don't know if you left your chat name in there or not. I don't want to read your full name if you don't want me to read your full name. but to Dahlia S. So I'll just say it like that. I want to say thank you very much. Said hashtag AFC. So I did get your Venmo. So thank you for your donation. Also, thank you if you are listening to Veronica V. Said thanks for what you do. Have lunch on me. Hey, that's dope, and got your Cash App. So thank you to Veronica. Also, thank you to Dahlia. And also, matter of fact, shout out to Mom's Fur Babies if she's out there listening. She sent actually a donation to the show, and I wanted to say thank you to her as well. Sent that a couple of days ago, actually. So shout out to her. Here's the next video, and then we're going to wrap up here in a little bit, okay? Here we go. Dre, let me see. I could check it real quick. Dre the Dream said you sent in a Cash App. Let me check real quick, bro. I could check for you. You know what I did? You know what? I shouted you out. I didn't realize. Okay. So, yes, I did get Dre the Dream's donation here in Cash App. So, shout out to Dre the Dream. Brother, thank you very much. I did get yours. So, I ended up reading your first name, but then I realized, wait a minute, that's my guy, Dre the Dream. So, shout out to you, bro. Thank you for that.
Accused of murdering an 8-year-old girl after a violent car accident. DeMarie Adkins was killed Saturday. Investigators say 19-year-old Jacobe Payton opened fire on her mother's car at Fuquay in the Sam Houston Tollway with a third grader inside that vehicle. Channel 2's Janelle Bluta is live tonight with more on this now. Janelle?
Well, I had a chance to speak with some of Payton's family members. They say he had 2 kids of his own and they could never see him doing anything like this.
Whoa. Ooh-wee. Hold on. Let me rewind this just for a second so y'all can hear this. Wow. Listen at this.
Bluta is live tonight with more on this now. Janelle?
Whoa.
Well, I had a chance to speak with some of Payton's family members. They say he had 2 kids of his own and they could never see him doing anything like this.
Okay. Are y'all ready for the BS? All right. Let's go there. First and foremost, at the time of this happening, Jacobe was 19 years old. He had 2 kids at 19 years old, and he was in high school. Let me take a sip of this watermelon Red Bull real quick so I can grow my wings. 19 years old, 2 kids, and in high school, and he flunked out of high school. So let me ask you guys a question. Just asking. What do y'all think that this 19-year-old dude, grown man, was doing at 19 years old? What do y'all think he was doing for a living? Does anybody want to take a guess at that? Anybody? Does anybody want to take a guess? I don't know if you guys know anything about Houston, Texas. Well, let me tell you guys this. Let me acclimate you for a moment, okay? Houston, Texas, on the bad side, is known for something that is very prevalent. What is that? Car theft. They will jack your car. And matter of fact, it's so well known in Houston that this happens that I remember one of the first times that I went out there, actually my first time going out there, one of the hotels I stayed at the Best Western, they told me, they said, make sure you park inside the gate because people steal cars all the time. And I was like, damn, like every place I went had like some type of special provision or a special gate or something like that because they're just like, car thefts happen that often in Houston. Why am I oh, Lala, okay. Lala, thank you for your donation. I got it. I got your Venmo donation. So shout out to Lala Scott. Thank you very much. Car thefts are really, really bad. Yes, especially on the north side. And drugs, selling drugs. My guess is he was probably involved of one of those 2 things. Let's go back for a moment. Let's go back. And remember the fact that these guys were speeding through a red light because the mother, Latoya, with her baby in the car, had the green light. They went on the green light, and these guys ran a red light, ran into her, and then shot up her car. So one would have to think that maybe they were speeding and running because they stole a car or potentially had something to do with drugs. These are the thugs. I'm sorry, but if it looks like a thug, if it has tattoos on the face like a thug, then I'm going to call it a thug. And while the family comes out and tries to keep continuing to defend these freaking people like this, I think is ridiculous. I want y'all, I'm going to back this up so y'all can hear the family come out and try to defend this dude who they know this dude ain't shit. He's not shit at all. 19 years old with 2 kids in high school, and you flunked out. And you were in a speeding car flying through red lights. To me, that signifies either A, you just committed a crime, B, probably a felony, B, you stole a car, C, you had something to do with drugs. One or the other, or it could be a combination of all. Who knows?
The suspect,
but he ain't innocent,
accused of murdering an 8-year-old girl after a violent car accident. DeMarie Adkins was killed Saturday. Investigators say 19-year-old Jacobe Payton opened fire on her mother's car at Fuquay in the Sam Houston Tollway.
Listen at the family defend this fool.
With a 3rd grader inside that vehicle. Channel 2's Janelle Bluda is live tonight with more on this now. Janelle?
Listen to the family defend this. Listen to what they report.
Well, I had a chance to speak with some of Payton's family members. They say he had 2 kids of his own and they could never see him doing anything like this.
He has 2 kids of his own and they couldn't picture him doing anything like this. Wait a minute. He has 2 kids in high school at 19 years old, meaning he was probably getting these women pregnant around 16 or 17 years old and having kids irresponsibly, having sex irresponsibly, and you flunked out of high school. I can guarantee you that this fool wasn't going to a charter school, no magnet school. He was probably going to a regular damn school, right? So if you can flunk out of high school, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you are not the brightest crayon in the box. So how can you not picture him with face tattoos, with dreads, looking like a thug? How can you tell me that you can't picture him doing something like this? That lets you know that where we stand in the black community is a real bad place when you think that something looks as vicious as it is and it's not that dangerous. That's just like these women that when I talk about the nigga lions and the nigga zoo, when you toss your kids out there into the lion's den and then the lion mauls your kid and then you be like, well, damn, I didn't think that lion would have attacked my baby. Well, wait a minute. It's a lion. What do you think that damn lion is going to do? Just stupid. These people are dumb. Hashtag not all, but too many. Let's get it.
But police are disagreeing. 19-year-old Jacobe Dante Payton sits inside Fort Bend County Jail on a $500,000 bond, facing charges of murder.
The police have alleged an offense has been committed. A judge has approved a warrant for his arrest.
An arrest warrant and probable cause affidavit show Payton was arrested today for the senseless murder of 8-year-old DeMarie Adkins.
Hey, I know a lot of people are saying like they might not have to donate, but what you can donate is you could donate a thumb up. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up. Thank you to everybody who's already done so. Make sure you click that thumbs up, okay? Let's get it.
But police say he's been in their custody since Monday. Wesley Wittig with the Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office says they will be the ones prosecuting Payton if they choose to proceed.
The next thing that would happen is the police would submit the case to us for formal review and charges.
He says if they decide to take the case, they would present it to a grand jury and an indictment would follow.
That means he has a cause number and he goes to court and you start the formal proceedings of going to a trial.
Court documents show Payton has been in trouble with the law before. In Fort Bend, he had 2 charges of aggravated assault, both in 2015.
Can I pop my collar for a moment? Does anybody mind if your boy DJ Just Jay give him the hold on, let me for calling it right. That's why I'm popping my damn collar. Why? Look at what he was charged with. At 19 years old, Mr. Saint himself, Mr. Feed the Homeless, Mr. Wouldn't step on an ant, wouldn't smash a fly, Mr. Helping old ladies cross the street, Mr. Honor Roll student, Mr. He was on his way to college and blah, blah, blah. 2 prior charges of aggravated assault in 2015 and theft charge in 2016. Damn. But you know what? Even with this information, Jacobe's family will still defend him and say he's a good person. No, he's not. He is a life failure. Can we say that in the chat? Can we get a hashtag life failure? Life failure. 19 years old, 2 kids, dumb as hell, flunked out of high school, tattoos on the face, 2 prior charges. Wait a minute. Wait. So since this is 2015, let me paint a picture, Picasso. Let me paint the picture. Let me take my canvas. Let me paint the picture for you. 2015. So if he was 19 in 2017, then how old was he in 2015 when he got prior charges of aggravated assault? Do y'all like the way I paint these pictures? Do y'all like it when I break these things down? 17 years old with not 1, but 2 charges of aggravated assault. Then when he turned 18, he has a theft charge. Now at age 19, he has 2 kids, flunking out of high school, and now he's doing 78 years in jail for murder. Hashtag life failure.
And in 2016, in Harris County, he was charged with theft. But the new charge in Fort Bend is much more serious, the murder of this little girl. Well, Payton is scheduled to see a judge in the morning. Damari's funeral is scheduled for Saturday afternoon. Reporting live, Janelle Bluda, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Just no way.
It is a deadly shooting that sent shockwaves throughout our community. An 8-year-old girl shot and killed while...
I just caught what you said. Amy Y pointed out something important. Said if he was 15 years old, where the hell was his parents at? How many of you guys want to bet that he didn't have a biological father there? I've told you guys before that these young men, when they don't have a dad in their life, when they ain't got their daddy, when they grow up without their daddy, when the majority of kids in the black community at 80% grow up without a biological father in the household, then these boys grow up and they don't see what they should grow up into becoming. They don't have that example from a man, from their biological father. Therefore, they don't see any value in themselves. Women on their own cannot raise proper men. Doesn't mean every single case, but it means the majority of them. And if that's the case, then if these young boys grow up and they don't have any value in themselves, it's something you can't give these boys, ladies. I'm sorry, but you can't. You have to have a biological father there, or a husband who's going to be the biological or the at least the legal father. But nonetheless, they're going to go out into the world and they're going to project their feelings out onto everybody else, which is why the world has to deal with the wrath of these young men who are angry, lost, and misguided. That's where the thugs come from.
While she was in her mother's car following an accident. Today, family and friends gathered to say goodbye to Damari Adkins. Channel 2's Janelle Bluda was at the memorial service.
As you can imagine, quite an emotional ceremony as the family said goodbye to that little 8-year-old girl. An entire church was packed as they laid Damari Adkins to rest. A family's pain, a mother's grief so powerful it's hard to stand. 8-year-old Damari Adkins was on the honor roll at McGregor Elementary.
She had this smartsy, cutesy, courtsy, serious disposition about herself.
She loved to learn, she loved school, and she loved her violin being played here in her honor.
That is so sad. So this baby was an honor roll student, loved to play the violin, and shout out to anybody who loves to play the violin. I am a big fan of it. I wish I learned actually to properly play it. This baby, Damari Adkins had a bright future, 8 years old. So in the black community, what we do is we lose a person that was going to have a bright future, lose them to somebody who was a loser, and now both of them are going to be disposed from society. That's a shame. Our best and brightest get robbed of their lives by those thugs. I'll say it like that. I'm trying to be a little more PC.
Today was the day to say goodbye to the precious child taken in a heartless act 1 week ago. Her funeral brought hundreds to the church, her classmates reading the scripture.
Oh, look at those babies. Oh, man. Oh, man. You know, I forget about the fact that these kids were in school. And their classmates are never going to be able to see their friend ever again. Damn. I forget about that part. Sad, man.
Separate us from God's love.
In her school presenting an honorary diploma. Even Mayor Sylvester Turner and Chief Art Acevedo shared their own words.
She will forever be your child. But I came by as the mayor of the city to let you know that she was our child too. You gave her more love than too many children get in a lifetime. Damari Adkins Day.
Turner proclaiming today as Damari Adkins Day. It was a time for celebrating the 8-year-old's life, but Pastor D.C. Cofield took on a more serious note.
That there are too many chances for all of us to be here.
Saying these senseless deaths are happening all too often.
We have to stand and say enough is enough.
And it should never be acceptable for violence to touch an innocent child. Well, if you would like to help the family, there's a link to a GoFundMe page on our website, click2houston.com.
Boy, that's hard to watch, man.
Reporting in South Houston, Janelle Bluda, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Now to the homicide investigation in Houston, Texas.
Let me give a shout out real quick. I got in another donation, a very, very nice donation. If you don't mind, anytime that anybody sends anything in, I'm going to read it. Said, it is a privilege to know you. You're an indelible young man. Your presentation is remarkable, and you always go the extra mile. You help others to lift their burdens. You are so amazing with your kindness and sweet grace, bringing light into this world that can sometimes be dark. You are a true hero indeed. Respectfully, Knight Rider. Wow. That gets me right here. Knight Rider, thank you so much. Wow. I ain't gonna cry on y'all. I'm not gonna cry, but I gotta tell you, Knight Rider, thank you so much, sweetheart, and I love you right back, and thank you so much. And my goal is, like I say, it's always to just bring more awareness, and I like to think that it's more of a we thing than a me thing, because I think of us as a family with us here at the AFC. And thank you so much for that message, as well as your very, very awesome donation. Shout out to Knight Rider. Thank you for that.
And the manhunt underway. Police say a collision at an intersection overnight erupted in gunfire, killing a little girl who was traveling in the car with her mother. ABC's Adrian Bankert has more.
Tonight, a manhunt and a mystery as to who shot and killed this third-grade honor student.
Never thought I'd be marrying my 8-year-old daughter.
Police say early this morning, 2 or 3 cars were speeding down this Houston road. One, this white Pontiac, crashing with Toya Thomas's Honda Accord. Her 8-year-old daughter, Damari Adkins, in the back seat.
Are you okay? She was.
Okay. Dre said it's called Tears in the Bayou. It's an hour and 45 minutes on how bad Houston is. Now, I can't qualify how bad Houston is based on my experiences there, because I had great experiences. You know, I know a couple of people out there, some lady friends of mine. Matter of fact, I got some homeboys out there in Houston. Matter of fact, shout out to them too. But I do know that I was warned about certain things in certain places when I went out there. But I'm just the type of person that what I want to do, I'm going to do it. Just period. That's just how I am. I've been that way my whole life. So if I want to go somewhere, if I want to go do something, I'm just about to go do it. And just be careful and keep my eyes peeled. But thank you for that. Y'all can check out Tears in the Bayou. So thank you for that, Dre.
Backseat. Are you okay? She was asleep. She never even knew what happened. Moments later, police say someone pulled out a gun, firing 8 shots, bullets flying into the back seat, hitting Damari. Had to be a case of road rage or something. I don't know. But my daughter was innocent. She didn't deserve it. The little girl was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. She gone.
And I'm going to tell you guys, this is just not fair to a mother and a father. And y'all look, a black mother and a black father, and they're both doing the right things. Their daughter are doing the right things. And their city turns around and betrays them like this. This is why I believe that we should stand up against the BS in our communities. If you know what's going on, if you see something, you say something. Matter of fact, if you are a law-abiding citizen, you make sure and get yourselves armed. Make sure and take advantage of your Second Amendment rights. You don't want to lose those rights to the government. Don't let these lawmakers and politicians trick you out of giving up your right to bear arms. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. If I were in a situation where I needed to protect myself, if I'm going to have to go, we going to go with a fight. Telling you that right now. So I don't want to get into it with nobody, and I don't want any issues with anybody. Because I stay armed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I'll be honest with you guys. I know this might be hard for some people to hear this. I would have loved to hear that either this mother or this father, once they started shooting at them, if the bullets missed, that they would have been able to fire back and put this little 19-year-old waste of skin, put him down. End him. Be done with it. And make an example out of his ass. I know some people might not like me saying that, but I'm going to say it, damn it.
I never get to wake up in the morning to go to school, talk to her. We always had conversations. And she always said, "Mom, I love you." Authorities now on the hunt for the shooter and those involved. Police saying Damari and her mother were innocent bystanders.
She's an innocent child. I mean, that's the worst kind of victim.
Damari's family in anguish over the loss of their little girl, who they say had a bright future and loved playing the violin.
My daughter was full of life. Happy girl, witty, smart. She was just a fun-loving person. I can't watch her grow up.
An incredibly sad story. Adrian joins us live now. Adrian, does that area have traffic cameras?
Let me go ahead and skip forward.
It is a deadly shooting that sent shockwaves throughout our community.
We got one more video coming up and then we're done.
8-year-old girl shot and killed while she was in her mother's car following an accident.
And you guys clicking the thumbs up. Thank y'all for doing that. We are at 159 right now. If we can get a few more people, if you just came in, make sure and click that thumbs up. It'll help share our stream, okay? But thank you guys for clicking that thumbs up.
Today, family and
I'll do better, and I'll try to get back on my normal schedule and not stream so late. That's my fault, and I apologize to anybody watching this on the replay.
friends gathered to say goodbye to Damari Adkins. Channel 2's Janelle Bluda was at the memorial service.
As you can imagine, quite
Here he is in court. You asked if there were traffic cameras. Okay, I can go back to that video. Let me see if I can get her answer on that.
Sad story. Adrian joins us live now. Adrian, does that area have traffic cameras, and could they possibly hold any clues to what happened there?
You know, Tom, police say there are cameras in the area, and they hope video evidence leads them to the shooter in this heartbreaking crime. Tom?
Adrian Banker tonight. Adrian.
So there you go, man. Shout out to Dre. But Dre, that is the answer to your question. There are cameras in that area. Now, whether it came out in court or not, I'm pretty sure we'd have to probably... But I'm pretty sure we probably have to look at like the court transcripts to find out exactly further details. But there were cameras there. Here's the last video.
Yeah, probably fell out of that house. Probably walking around.
Notice he got tattoos on the face and neck. Notice that.
Unwin.
You're enrolled in high school. Yeah. He was enrolled in Willow Ridge High School? Yeah. Would you tell the judge just...
So he was 19 at Willow Ridge High School. What grade was he in?
He was a senior.
Senior. He was flunk?
Yeah.
Object, Sherelle.
Yeah, he
Judge.
flunked.
That's his thing.
Some kids are slower than others.
Yeah.
Why did he...
But you know what? They shouldn't be asked to be quiet and sustain comments like that because the fact that they were being honest. He is a dummy. He's a freaking dummy. A degenerate and a waste of skin in our society. For the people who asked about the GoFundMe, let me show you guys the GoFundMe. The family put up this GoFundMe in 2017. They asked for $15,000, and the people, they felt where they were coming from on this, and they asked for $15,000, and they got a lot more than that. So even as of a year ago, they surpassed that by more than $10,655. I can guarantee you that they would give that money back if they could get their baby's life back. As a parent, I damn sure would. I am not, there ain't a price that you could put on my daughter, period. It's not. Let me go ahead and give you guys my closing thoughts. I know it's a harsh thing for people to hear when I say things like, you know, there is no redemption for thugs. There is no redemption for degenerate behavior. And the reason that I say that is because I believe that at this point in time, we need to draw a line in the sand when it comes to how you should behave and what actions should be considered to be reprehensible. Things should be very, very clear cut. We have too much gray area where some things are okay, some things are not okay. And to me, that's not a good place for us to be, especially in a time where we want to make sure and judge things properly. People commonly misuse the phrase and say, only God can judge me. Only God can judge, which is actually inaccurate. If you pay attention to your Bible, if we are supposed to be Christ-like, to all my Bible thumpers out there, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but to all my Bible thumpers out there, if you are supposed to be Christ-like, which Christ-like Christian, little Christians, if God judges, Jesus judges, the Holy Spirit judges, and we are to make proper judgment, therefore you are supposed to judge, make the proper and right choices. Just like as if you were to judge and choose Jesus and God as your Lord and Savior. Now, I'm not trying to be all biblical on y'all or anything like that, but I believe I'm pretty accurate about that. I mean, you can look it up if you believe it, cool. If you don't, you don't. All I'm saying is that for the family of him to come out and say that he has 2 kids and he wouldn't do anything like this, BS bullcrap. He absolutely would. He is a failure. He was always going to be a failure in life. I don't know if he had a father in his life, but it seems like he does not. For him to grow up and think that he needs to be out committing assault at 15 years old and 16 years old, this guy with the face tattoos, he is what we call a career criminal. 15 years old, 16 years old, and then you turn around and get a theft charge at 17 and 18 years old. And now you do the worst thing possible and you take it out on innocent people. This bright baby girl could have been anything. She could have been a congressman. She could have been an advocate out fighting in the streets for other children's lives. We would never know. She didn't get a chance to grow up and be something great. And I believe that with a good mother and a good father, she would have been something great. Damari Adkins deserved a chance, and we have to do better. And even in the midst of people that deal with road rage, because I know that's a big thing, I always ask you guys to breathe, take a moment, think, and let it go. I know times are very trying on your emotions, and I know that you don't want people to disrespect you. Nobody wants to be disrespected. But I think that if we could just practice us just being more respectful and more loving towards each other, we can limit things like this. We can bring the number down of things like this happening. Especially with road rage, a lot of bad stuff happens. And it happens to everybody. Black, white, old, young. If you've driven for any amount of time, we've all gotten upset. And we've all, in our head, have gotten upset really, really to a point of we shouldn't be that upset. I've done it. I'm guilty of getting extremely upset. It's not worth this baby losing her life. She was supposed to grow up and be something great, and she deserved every opportunity to be able to do so. Okay? I want to wish the family, the biological mother, Latoya, and Deetram, the biological father. Thank you guys so much for being parents to this baby. Thank you, the fact that you guys left a positive legacy in the city of Houston, in the state of Texas, in the world. The world will now remember this baby's name. And I thank again to the mother and the father for just being good people. And you guys were a victim of something that plagues the majority of black people. And that is thugs and waste of skin and degenerates. And they have to go. We have to separate ourselves from the trash of our community, and we have to do better, and we have to speak out against bull crap like this, okay? This is your boy DJ Just J. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. That's always where our heart is, that's where our mind is, and that's where our priority is. Please make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Make sure if you want to contribute to our platform, you guys know the links are in the description box for everything that you need to do as far as finding us, contacting us. If you have a story, email it, the AFC matters at gmail.com. That's our email address, also in the description box. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next stream, okay? Thank you for listening to the story. Peace.